like a great way to start, like right here, clumsy fucking me. I was just talking to a blind guy out here. He was telling me that he's blind, so like his parents knew, because ever since he was a kid, he's always like bumping into fucking walls. I'm like, I'm not blind, and I'm always bumping into fucking walls anyway. And I'm a clumsy-ass motherfucker. This is not like a good time for me to be up here right now. I just ate a shitload of fried chicken. I feel like taking a shit. Like, it's terrible. You ever like take a shower and you find like grease in your fucking armpits? Like, that is the worst. That's how you know you've been eating way too much fried chicken. It's terrible. I know this is why you guys came out here tonight to listen to me talk about my fucking body odors and like all the disgusting shit that's happening right now. But the human body is a disgusting thing. All of our bodies are disgusting, and you know, we have to live with it our whole lives. That's my philosophical quip of the night. Better than Descartes, right? You know, nobody laughs. Nobody ever laughs at the intellectual jokes. I don't fucking care. Speaking of intellectual shit, does anybody here know their personality type? You ever study like the whole Myers-Briggs thing, where it's like apparently every person is like broken down to like 16 personalities? So I have a story. I actually took a personality test. And I got the personality test, the personality type that I got was INTJ. So, okay, this is kind of tough because it's like a hard thing to explain. Basically, like every single personality type has like their own thing. Like the ESFP is like a performer, like Lady Gaga or something like that. The INTJ is apparently a scientist, and I'm like, well, I could relate to that shit because I'm sort of nerdy, I don't have any friends. I'm the scientist. And when I read about this stuff, I was like, this is awesome. Because now I finally have a reason for why I'm such a loser. I can connect to people so much easier now knowing that I am in fact an INTJ. Like, you guys don't know what the fuck that means, neither do I. But I thought it was awesome. So the thing that I do when I discover that I'm an INTJ, I start going on Omegle. That's like this website you can go on to like meet random strangers. And in interest, I type in INTJ so I can meet like other INTJs. And I meet my first girlfriend on this thing. If it wasn't for this INTJ Omegle thing, I would have never lost my virginity. So this whole thing is just like a roundabout way of saying that, guys, this is how I lost my virginity. Part 2 of the story. I find another person on here who is an INTJ. We meet in person. He tells me 2 things about me. Not only am I not INTJ, but I'm also not straight. I'm like, what the fuck? So what am I? He's like, dude, you are a gay INFP. I'm like, what the fuck is an INFP? So I go up online and look up, what is INFP? Apparently an INFP is like sort of like a Kurt Cobain kind of type, Tim Burton, kind of like the weird kind of like, okay, so I guess that does kind of fit me. But then I started going on Omegle, typing an INFP, I'm like, these guys are pussies. Like, that's not, like, I'm an INTJ, I'm like a scientist type. And these people, they're like, what, like writing poetry, like listening to shitty music? I'm like, fuck INFPs, I am not INFP. And I'm also straight, like I love pussy, so fuck that guy. That's the end of that story. There's no part 3. I was kind of thinking earlier today on the train, in a country like America, it would actually be a little beneficial to be a serial killer. And let me follow up on that, because I know I start up on stuff, you're like, where did that come from? Alright, here's my way of thinking. Serial killers get more fan mail in jail than like anybody else in America. Like, you think about how much fan mail that fucking Charles Manson gets, it's insane. But the thing about, I think, being a serial killer is if you were to decide to kill people, you would have to have a good alibi to make people assume that you are not an actual serial killer. So if you look at some of the famous serial killers, Ted Kaczynski, he was like a math professor. He would have no reason to kill anybody. Ted Bundy went out with like a lot of hot girls. He was a law student. He would have no reason to kill anybody. Ed Gein, nice kid, lived with his mother. Why would he kill anybody? But then you look at some people like John Wayne Gacy, creepy killer clown, fucking entertain kids. Yeah, probably he would have killed somebody. I watch a lot of porn because I don't have a girlfriend right now. One thing with porn is that I think a lot of kids are really spoiled these days by like the mass abundance of porn that's on the internet. I remember there was a day when it would take like a 30-second video, it would take 1 hour to load. Nowadays you can like go on fucking like Pornhub.com and like see like 60-minute videos like back to back to back. And I'm just thinking, when most kids watch these videos, do they even like finish like jerking off to like the whole thing, or do they just like come in 3 minutes for like each video that they watch? It's almost like so much porn on the internet that you would think like that the person who like runs the bandwidth of that shit is just like losing money on a constant basis, when you could just have these small little clips that people could just watch and, you know, do their duty. Anyone vote in next election for anybody in particular? I'm kind of done with voting, but I'm sort of sad that Sarah Palin isn't running, because Sarah Palin is pretty hot, and I feel like if she was president, I would like actually have someone to jerk off to, like, for every time I turn on CNN. Thank you, everybody.
Dimitri Kogan, everybody!
Hi, I'm Dimitri Kogan. I just had a set at Broadway Comedy Club for Sophia's show. I want to dedicate my set to my friend Ken, who I think came. If he didn't come, I'm very angry right now, and I hope he didn't see how like badly that I think I might have failed on like some of the bad jokes. But if he didn't see the good jokes, then I'm good with that too, because he can see those later, hopefully, if he feels like showing up at any future sets. All right, thank you for that.